I think most people are extremely well-meaning in our industry. However, just because someone's well-meaning doesn't mean that they know exactly how to pinpoint exactly what's wrong with your performance in some capacity and what to do about it, right? Working on things is very good. It's a good idea to work on things, right? However, why go into pageant prep blindly trying to work on things when you can actually use a scientific approach to know exactly what to work on and then just work on it? Hello everybody, Coach Megan here, and welcome to this episode of the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about how to actually figure out scientifically and logically exactly what you should be working on this year. It is almost the beginning of the year. Lots going on right now, holiday season, and we're starting to get on strategy calls with many of you guys to plan for the 2024 year. And this is super, super exciting, but one of my favorite parts of this is getting down into the nitty-gritty of exactly what you guys should be working on to win and to create a strategy for your next year. My name is Coach Megan. I'm the CEO and founder of Powerhouse Pageantry, two-time former Miss Nebraska, and I help women place higher, guaranteed, or even win their pageants. So if that sounds like you, you're in the right place, and feel free to look at the links below in our bio or in the show notes to be able to make sure that that is you next time. We only work with a certain amount of people every year, and people that we see greatness in and that we know are really ready to win and accomplish their goals and dreams. Okay. So with that being said, I was just on actually a strategy call earlier today, and it really inspired me to make a video about this because whenever I have a conversation over and over with people on, like I said, strategy calls or on our one-on-ones, then I know that this is something that I want to address publicly because it means that multiple people are feeling a certain way or working through something at that time. So one of the things that I've seen coming up in this case, less in our one-on-ones because we've already fixed this, but on the strategy call with what I like to call pre-clients, right? They don't know that there are clients yet, but until we show them that we know exactly how to help them, right? And then everybody wants to dive in, obviously, is that most people are walking around just with absolutely no clarity on what to work on. And I get it, because where are you supposed to receive that information of what is wrong with your performance in some capacity? And, we all try and surround ourselves with well-meaning people that are our mom or a local director, state director, other coaches, whoever, right? I think most people are extremely well-meaning in our industry. However, just because someone's well-meaning doesn't mean that they know exactly how to, I call it like the X-Acto knife approach, know how to pinpoint exactly what's wrong with your performance in some capacity and what to do about it, right? And while most people go into pageant prep with the best of intentions, what seems to happen around this time of the year every single year, or let's just say that you're watching this later and it's somewhere between April and July, you just finished competing in state and you feel as lost and confused as ever, right? We see so many people in that position that then just dive right into prep. And my question for you is, how do you even know what to prep, or how do you know what to spend your time on when you don't receive feedback from your pageant and you're just kind of working on everything? And the danger of that is not that it's impossible for you to see results in some capacity, right? Because working on things is very good. It's a good idea to work on things, right? However, why go into pageant prep blindly trying to work on things when you can actually use a scientific approach to know exactly what to work on and then just work on it? Because sometimes things are actually okay and you can wait a couple months to work on some decisions, your strongest areas typically, because we look at it like this. So think of it as, let's just say we have a 7-month timeline. It's December at the time of this recording, and let's just say that you're competing in June, okay? So 7-month timeline, and let's say that talent is your strongest area, that you already know you've already picked your talent song, because there's a deadline usually around April or March for orientation, and it's when you're going to pick your contestant number, all of that, okay? So you have that done, and you feel pretty strong about talent. Let's say that your weakest area is fitness, and your second weakest area you'd say is something involving your interview. Okay, great. Well, then part of what my job is as a coach is to go in and say, what a concept. Let's take away your greatest fear now, not later. Oh my gosh, what a concept. If you think that your physical appearance in some capacity is holding you back, or the concept of fitness or swimsuit stresses you out more than everything else, well, then guess what? We need to make a plan so that you can just follow that plan and we can get you into momentum and seeing progress as quickly as possible, rather than waiting till 12 weeks out and now you're having to rigorously and rigidly follow a diet plan, right? That maybe you even have a history of an eating disorder, because many pageant clients do. And now this is triggering other mental and emotional things. And you're spending 2 hours at the gym rather than 1 hour at the gym every day, which you already don't have time for. And it's making you second guess everything else because you're having to put 2 hours into the gym. And so you don't have time to work on interview, or you don't have time to make these decisions, and you've got work or school and these other things, right? Do you see how that creates chaos? It's the snowball effect. And then what happens is the month before, you're still making all these last minute decisions and you're rolling up into competition, still winging it, even though you've, quote, worked harder than ever this year. And so when everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. Say it with me. When everything's a priority, nothing's a priority. Okay? So what I want to teach you and what I want to help you with is to create a hierarchy of needs and say, okay, I'm 30 weeks out and I have 45 minutes in the gym every day, and I'm going to commit to 4 days a week and then going for a walk the other 2 days. Okay. Awesome. Great. Okay. And I'm going to lock in my nutrition 30 weeks ahead. So I only have to be in a slight calorie deficit. And if I want to go to the movies and have some popcorn or enjoy Christmas, guess what? You're a real person who can do that. Relax. You've got time, right? And then get back on the bandwagon. So I like to approach things like that, of really analyzing what is the most urgent, important thing that's going to take the longest to work on. And then let's say after fitness, like I said, maybe it's your interview. Okay, well, paperwork typically has a deadline on top of that. So let's work on paperwork next. And then paperwork will also dictate any other areas of maybe your platform that we want to fill in, because your platform's not where we want it to be. Okay, we still have 3 months till your paperwork deadline. Let's plan out the weekends and look at your calendar of when you're going to do XYZ to expand your platform, create the vision for where you want that to be by the time that you're at Miss whatever state or national competition. And then let's prioritize that. And if we just worked on those two things for a solid 30 to 45 days, even if you didn't touch anything else, would we be able to pick it back up in February or March and absolutely dominate? Because we still have 4 months to work on those other things that aren't terribly wrong. We want to be consistent with them, right? Still do a mock interview here and there, practice your talent, obviously, make some outfit decisions. But the bulk of your stress is going to be taken care of in like the first 30 days, right? What a concept. So this is my favorite way to coach, and why we've been able to help so many people have a less stressful prep. Because again, if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority. It's actually not that you need to be working on everything all the time. Don't neglect things too. Obviously, like, the rhythms that make you comfortable, because we need to flex all of, the muscles frequently, right? Frequently. But it doesn't mean that you need to be spending like 3 hours every single day. Like, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Okay. So if you're doing that and you feel like pageant prep is just overwhelming your entire life, it's just not how it has to be. Like, you're a life, you're a person who has a life. Like I said, you're probably working, or you're in school, or you're working and in school. You're probably in a sorority on top of that, or you've got church stuff on top of that, or you have a relationship that you're in, right? Like, you can have all of these things and be a successful pageant person and allow pageants to take a precedent in your life. We just need to be really, really structured when we have a lot on our plate. And that's also why, if you can see me pointing behind me on YouTube, it's why we have our pageant planner, which will literally help you detail out, even down to the mental and spiritual side of things, exactly what your 90 days can look like. If you don't have one yet, you can click the link below and you can add that to your cart. It's $47. And you can put it on a subscription as well if you'd like that. We have a brand new website that goes to that. Otherwise, if you join the Academy, which applications are open now for 2024, you get one for free, which is really cool. And a million other things. You get Mastermind for free, our live event that's coming up in March that happens every year, which is life-changing. So if any of those things intrigue you, book a strategy call with me. You'll speak with me personally. We'll chat through what's going wrong, what needs to go right, what your goals are, where you feel like you're stuck. And also, a thing that I'm seeing probably more than ever this year, like I said, is people who don't even know where they're stuck, which is fascinating to me. And there's not a right or wrong. Some people are like, bing, bang, boom, here's exactly where I know I'm losing points. Can you help? And I'm like, yes, we can. And then for some people, it takes a little bit longer just to ask the right questions. And again, even if you don't know what's wrong, that's part of what we're here for, right? So with all of our clients, we ask you to send in what I call game tape. And that's where I want to see every interview, every walk, every outfit that you've worn. Give me the whole picture of as much as you can. And then we do a personal, you'll deep dive with me to really review that and set the plan to where even if you don't know what's going wrong, that's part of what I'm here for, is to help you say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. How long do you have? What are your deadlines? These different things, so that we can get you your quickest win as quickly as humanly possible. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. I know it was a little bit shorter. Some of you guys probably watched this on 2X and you're like, I got to go watch 5 other episodes now. This was so short. But sometimes the best frameworks, it doesn't take very long to figure it out. So, and you know me, I love to give things away for free as much as possible. So yeah, I would encourage you guys to book a strategy call. I would also encourage you to just write it down. Like, make a notebook and be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, what's going to take the longest to work on that I feel like is where I'm losing the most points. Congratulations, that's what you should prioritize your time and energy into. Number 2, what's the second thing that maybe has a deadline attached to it that I know still needs some work? And then, yeah, what's the third area that does or doesn't have a timeline, but is still stressing me out and I know is an area of weakness for me, which, by the way, could also be hair and makeup, could be fashion, could be the consistency of your brand and knowing how to elicit that and tell the story of that brand. That's something that we're working on with a lot of our clients this year. Like, when I look at you, do I know that you're the blank girl who does the blank thing, who wants to be a blank, right? Like, I'm CEO musician girl who's super tall, has jet black hair with a middle part, right? Like, I'm going to tell it like it is. I was just on a call earlier today and they're like, I only watched a couple episodes, of the podcast, but I love how you just tell me like it is. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. That's what you're going to get from me. You're also going to get a whole lot of love, but you're going to get the truth in love, because that's what you're paying me for, is to actually guide you and say, don't do this. That will not help you. Do this. This will help you. And to find the best, authentic intermediary of those things of okay, what's going to win and what feels super resonant and authentic and true to you? Because when those two things have a baby, magic happens. Let me tell you, you start to sparkle and shine on stage and in your interview and your paperwork and all these things. So, all right, that's all I have for you guys this week. Again, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel and you want to watch these, sometimes I show things. I'm in a very much a big whiteboard mood lately where I like to visually show things. You guys are going to see more content from me on Instagram too, of me doing that, because I'm just a teacher at heart. But I hope everybody has an amazing holiday season and Merry Christmas. We might take a little break during Christmas and see you at the New Year. But click the link below to book a strategy call with me. I can't wait to meet you and just hear more about your situation. If for any reason you submit an application and it gets declined, it just means that you're either in an organization that we don't personally feel 100% confident that we can help you place higher in. And in that case, we'll refer you to somebody that we think might be a better coach for you. Or if for some reason now is just not the right timing, or you don't have the funds or something like that, then we'll just say, hey, keep rocking and rolling, listen to our free content, and maybe it'll be that time in the future. So we do have certain standards, so we're not being mean or anything like that. We just know with a place higher guarantee, we can only accept a certain person in a certain field with certain requirements, because we're protecting ourselves and you so that you can rock and roll. So anyways, the best thing you can do is apply below and select a time, and I can't wait to meet you. All right, y'all, see you next week. Bye.